The last stand of Salvatore, the sculptor. The rain fell in cold, relentless sheets, mirroring the mood inside the private booth at Capone's grill. Salvatore, the sculptor, Moretti, so named for his calm, calculated way of shaping problems out of existence, nursed an amber glass of scotch. He wasn't old, only 43, but the years spent under the neon glow of illicit deals and over the faint metallic tang of spilled blood had aged his eyes into permanent, watchful slits. It was 1957. The old guard of the American Mafia was fracturing, hit hard by the FBI's intensified efforts and a new breed of ambitious, unpredictable young thugs. Salvatore represented the old ways, loyalty, discipline, and a silent respect for the territory. Sal, hissed Tony, the Tooth, Bellini, his second-in-command, leaning in. Tony was all nervous energy and cheap cologne. The commission meeting, they went south. They voted to dissolve the old boundaries. They want a cut of everything now. Street hustle, docks, even your legitimate fronts. Salvatore's jaw tightened. They call that progress? His voice was low, a rumble you had to strain to hear over the jazz trio. That's avarice, Tony. It's recklessness. The old boundaries kept the peace. This is a declaration of anarchy. He took a slow sip. He knew who was behind it, Carlo, the chameleon, Ricci, a man who believed the only crime worse than disloyalty was being poor. Ricci had promised the younger captains vast wealth if they threw Salvatore's careful system, the system that had kept them all rich and out of prison for 2 decades, into the gutter. What do we do? Tony asked, his hand trembling slightly near the pistol beneath his coat. Salvatore looked out the frosted window at the reflections of the city lights shimmering on the wet pavement. He saw not lights, but the fading glory of an empire built on specific, unwritten rules. We do what we must, Tony, Salvatore finally said, setting the glass down with a soft clink. We remind them what reverence means. Ricci thinks he can rewrite history with a simple vote. He will learn the meaning of retribution. The next week was a blur of silence and swift, surgical action. Salvatore didn't seek open warfare, that was Ricci's game. Instead, he targeted the sources of Ricci's newfound opulence. The newly acquired gambling dens suddenly went dark. The legitimate businesses Ricci had strong-armed saw their permits revoked by mysterious city officials. The younger capitals who had voted against Salvatore found their personal finances under intense, anonymous scrutiny. Ricci's power, built on facades and transients, crumbled under Salvatore's methodical vigilance. The chameleon's reputation, his juice, vanished like smoke. On a Tuesday, an unmarked sedan pulled up outside Ricci's luxury apartment. A single figure, not Salvatore, but a man known only as the janitor, stepped out. The job took less than 5 minutes. The next day, Salvatore was back in his private booth, reading the newspaper. The headline mentioned a fatal, accidental fall from a penthouse balcony. Tony sat across from him, looking relieved, yet subdued. It's over, Sal. The commission, they sent word. The old boundaries are back. They've restored equilibrium. Salvatore folded the paper neatly. They didn't restore it, Tony. We did. He picked up his scotch glass, swirled the amber liquid, and looked at his reflection, the face of a man who understood that in the Mafia, the most powerful weapon was not a gun, but imperturbable patience and a healthy contempt for those who forgot the price of control. Now, he murmured, let's talk about a new import deal. The docks need to be organized. The storm had passed, but the air still held the weight of untold malevolence. The sculptor had finished his work.